Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 10th. This week, we are just going to jump right in here. We're going to take a look at your current general energies in this first row. In your second row, we are going to take a look at where you are most lucky this week. And in your last row, we are going to do kind of like a miniature version of the Move Mountain spread that I did as a bonus over the weekend, or last weekend, whatever that was, Leo. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will explain this spread at the end once we get there. But Leo, on top of that, we're going to pick 3 yes or no question cards at the end as well, and I will give you time to think of your questions if you need time. On top of that, make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what is going on for you at this time. But Leo, let's see here. Leo, in your current general energies, you have the slow and steady wins the race card here. You have the temperance card as well, which is a card of patience here in your first row. I'm not really getting slow and I don't think this is really saying slow and steady wins the race for you, Leo. I feel it's more talking about divine timing. And it's just saying that something you like, some sort of finish line that you've been trying to cross, or something where you've been hoping for some, it looks like karmic justice could be coming in for you. So, if you've been hoping for karmic justice, I think sometimes people need to realize that with karmic justice as well, it doesn't have to be like, against a person. It could be one of those things where it's like maybe you've been working your butt off for 20 years and it's like maybe your karmic justice is just to be successful or to make more money. I see all that happening for you here, Leo. So this is definitely a very nice reading for you. I would say there's like a lot of karma stuff coming up here, justice and the Wheel of Fortune. Both cards are cards of like karma. And so I feel you could be kind of getting like more karmic rewards this week as well. But it's kind of like divine timing is what I'm getting here. You have the Temperance card, the 5 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords here in this first row. I do feel some of you could need to release like a liar, cheater, stealer here, but what I would say is, again, if you have been dealing with a person who is a liar, cheater, stealer, then I feel you could be seeing a person getting their karma with that Justice card here. The 7 of Swords has been coming up a lot lately. And I really feel what it is kind of like the times that we're in. We have, we've been dealing with a lot, right? As a collective here, Leo. And on top of that, I mean, the astrological energy has been very heavy as well. And on top of that, the past like 10, 15 years have been pretty intense, right? So I feel like everybody is kind of like in this zone where they're trying to be very protective of what they have. This could be money, it could be health, it could be anything. But I feel like people are kind of almost being a little bit overprotective. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't protect what you have. I'm not saying that you shouldn't try to not lose money and things like that. But the 7 of Swords, kind of represents not looking at the right thing. 7 of Swords, he is normally the guy on the 7 of Swords is stealing the 7 swords from an army that's in the background, and there are 2 swords that are normally behind him. Number 1, it says he can't protect himself from everything because he can't even get all of the swords, but it also says that, you need to kind of keep your eye on the real problem, because on some decks, he's about to step into a trap, and so it's kind of like a card that says, do not get trapped by, trying to protect yourself from things that might never happen. For others, I am getting like some lone wolf vibes here. You have the 5 of Wands, and the 7 of Swords is the card of the lone wolf, and the 5 of Wands is a card of conflict, competition. Some of you could be feeling like you don't want to allow people into your life due to past challenges. I really feel that this Temperance card is saying that you need to be at peace, because this here, these 2 cards here, this is very like conflicted energy, I would say. I feel like you are conflicted, and that Temperance card I feel like is saying it's really not necessary. So let's dig into this and see. Yeah, you have the Page of Cups. It's like you could be conflicted about love because you were I feel some of you were dealing with liar, cheater, stealer. I mostly say that because the Justice card shows up here. For others, I feel like you were just dealing with someone who is either inconsistent or a lone wolf. Again, 7 of Swords doesn't have to be lying, cheating, stealing. It can just be someone who is so independent that they don't allow you into their life, which is not good either. So I feel like that's what you could have been dealing with. Yeah, you have the 3 of Pentacles here. and the Seven of Swords. Seven of Swords and Seven of Swords is basically, I always say whenever a card repeats itself like this, it's like the universe is basically saying, I meant what I said. But I feel for some of you, there's like a new person coming in for you who actually wants to work on a team if you are looking for love. For others, I just feel that, I do feel like this is talking about teamwork, but like with the universe. I feel like it's saying that you are more kind of like it's like you're more in the zone, more in the flow with kind of like what the universe wants you to create. And I feel like you are co-creating more with spirit here in this row. So like I would say, don't be afraid of, starting new jobs, new businesses, or pretty much anything new that you're thinking about starting here with this energy. I'm also noticing that on the Three of Pentacles, this lady here, she has polka dots on her shirt there, on her cloak. And on the Seven of Swords, he has polka dots on his shirt. You're like the second or third sign this week that is where I've kind of like noticed that. And the polka dots in tarot represent needing to not take something too seriously. It's kind of like a card of, needing to, it can represent being too serious. So I feel like this week, it would be a good week to maybe be a little more playful, or just be, try to have more fun, is what I'm trying to say. Next, in the area of where you are most lucky, you have the Message in a Bottle card. I do feel for those of you waiting for a message, it could be any message, not just in love, but, it could be maybe you're waiting for certain news about a job or whatever, that you could be getting a message or news about something here. It's just popping into my head as a message, though. Like, usually I feel that if someone is going to get a job, the message that I get is usually confirmation, like the word confirmation. And so I'm not so sure that this would be confirmation of you getting a job, but it's definitely going in the right direction. So I feel like there's good news coming in for you. You have the Justice card, Two of Wands, and the Page of Wands here. If you're dealing with something legal, again, definitely I feel there's a lot of luck for you in a legal situation. But this to me would say that I feel you're balancing something out. There's definitely something about karma here. It's kind of like you're getting your karmic justice, like I said earlier, where the universe is almost paying you back for, I feel, taking a leap of faith, or probably taking like multiple leaps of faith over the past. It's like I feel that the universe has, kind of the message I'm getting is that, like, I feel like you don't give up. I feel you keep trying. I feel like no matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish, whatever you see as your destiny, you have the Wheel of Fortune here and the Knight of Cups here. And they're both coming off of the diagonal, this diagonal row, with the Two Wands. It's almost like, but I get this, like, you've never given up on something. If you want love, I feel like you've always kind of given it a shot. You've always, like, tried, if it's business, I feel like you've always tried. You've always tried to make something happen. And it's like the universe is kind of giving you a gift here, I feel, in this row, because you have not given up, because you've always tried. The Page of Wands, kind of like both these cards here, actually, Page of Wands and the Two of Wands, are kind of like you going on an adventure. This has come up for pretty much all three fire signs this week. There's been some message about adventure for all three. So if you're like thinking about going on adventure, then I do feel there's a lot of luck in going on an adventure for you. This adventure, it could be you moving, traveling. It could also just be you switching jobs or something like that as well here, Leo. But I do feel there's a lot of luck there for you. I do feel like some of you could be dealing with a Libra as well. So if you're looking for love, it could be a Libra that's coming in for you. But I need to get more details on this row. You have the Six of Cups, definitely a gift from the universe, exactly what I said. Six of Cups is a gift from the universe, and the gift that we usually receive from the Six of Cups is obstacles being removed from our lives. I kind of am starting to think that this reading, and I even just feel it intuitively, that this reading is more a reading of just an obstacle being removed from your life. If you have experienced any like barriers, right? Like I just see a brick wall. If you've been experiencing any brick walls, this is almost like the brick walls coming down. Yep, Two Wands. You have a lot of, it's funny that you have a lot of these repeating cards here. So I feel for a lot of you, it's kind of like the universe is saying, Two Wands, Two Wands. I feel like the universe is saying your past life is dead, done, over with. This back wand here behind him represents completion, if I can get it to focus there. So the back wand kind of represents something that he has completed. He's reaching forward, grabbing this front wand, and he's got the whole world in his hands. And you have the world here as well. So it's kind of like saying releasing something from the past is going to give you the whole world in your hands. Yep, Ten of Cups, fortune after difficulty, a lot of happiness. This is a really good reading for you here, Leo. I feel you are being released from, it's almost like you're being released from devil energy. It's almost like you are being released from bondage, but I don't think it's that extreme. Although you do have the Seven of Swords twice, so this could be like a tricky energy that you've been dealing with for a long time, almost like devil energy, if that makes sense, where things just. But I think that it's almost like you've been having to repeat lessons, because remember I was getting that like never giving up type message here, where it's like you have always tried to do something. Those are the words that are popping into my head. Like you've tried and tried and tried. And so I feel like that is kind of like the devil type energy that you've been dealing with. It's almost like Groundhog's Day. Is what I feel like saying to you, Leo. I feel like you are overcoming Groundhog's Day, if that makes sense. So I like to see that. I do feel that someone has their eye on you as well here, as far as love is concerned. Could be a person from a distance. Page of Wands, Two of Wands twice to the Knight of Cups. Definitely like a knight in shining armor, but I feel like this person maybe is at a distance. In your last row here, we're going to take a look at how you can move mountains this week. If you don't know, one of my favorite people of all time, Greg Braden, says when your head and your heart become one, you can move mountains. We're going to take a look at your head, your heart, and how they can become one so that you can move mountains. Mountains could be goals, wishes, dreams, anything you want to accomplish. It could also be an obstacle. You have this Lamb card here. It's a card of like springtime and growth, and it's funny you have this Three of Pentacles. This Three of Pentacles, I'm going to show you in just a second. But it's like there's a flower growing on it. So I feel like some of you have just been hoping to come out of the cold here with this Lamb card. In the area of your head, you have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like your thoughts are very much kind of going in the right direction. The Wheel of Fortune is, the wheel is always spinning. It's like the wheel of karma, the wheel of destiny, the wheel of fate. So it's like always spinning. And we control the direction of the wheel. So I would just make sure you're keeping it positive in your head with this card, because that's really what this card is asking. But I do feel like your head is in line with your destiny. Like if there's something that you feel is your destiny, or if there's something you feel like you're supposed to accomplish, or if you feel there's something you're supposed to do, I feel like you are supposed to do it with that card. In the area of your heart, you have the Three of Pentacles. Again, this Three of Pentacles, there's like growth going on here. So I feel that your heart is kind of like growing. I do feel teamwork would be really important for you. Again, Three of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. You have all these repeating cards in your reading. So again, whenever we have these repeating cards, it kind of simplifies the reading, really, in a lot of ways, and makes things very simple. But I feel teamwork makes the dream work for you at this time. Allowing someone to help you will probably lead to a lot more progress as well. I also feel that like focusing on quality work is going to be important for you. I think that in a lot of ways it makes perfect sense. We have Uranus and Taurus as well as about values. So it makes perfect sense to me that a lot of people in the collective are getting these messages of needing to focus on the quality of the work that you're doing, because with Uranus and Taurus, the quality of our work is exactly what is going to be valued in the first place. So that's what I would be doing with this Three of Pentacles. Mixing the two things together, you have the Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is like moving towards your dreams. I feel that your head knows, it's like you see something as your destiny. Your heart is trying to make something more practical, I feel, with the Three of Pentacles. But it's almost like maybe you're like the second or third sign that has had a message of maybe taking something that is impractical. I don't actually think that it is, but you could be taking something that is impractical and you're making it practical. I think people need to realize that changes are happening faster than ever. And it's like people need to realize that the world changes as well. And so it's like one of those things where it's like maybe you want to read tarot for a living. Like, it's the example I use because it's what I do. But it's like when I started reading tarot, like this was not something, when I started doing this on YouTube, like nobody was doing like what we're doing now, right? Is what I'm trying to spit out here. It's like nobody had more than 10,000 subs when I started like 6 years ago, right? And now there are channels that have like almost 1 million subs. So it's like one of those things where back in the day it would have been impractical to do this as a job or as a living, but now it makes perfect sense, right? So I feel like there's something in your life that maybe seems a little bit impractical, that maybe seems a little bit impossible, but I feel like it's exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So let's see here. You have the Fool. Yep, it's time for you to take a leap of faith towards your destiny here, Leo. I'm probably going to get nosy here in just a minute. You have the Seven of Wands. I feel like your heart is good. I'm getting the word locked in here on that Seven of Wands, but this feels good to me, just intuitively. I feel like it's saying your heart energy is kind of like locked in on something. So I take that to be a good message. It's like your heart is in the right place, is what it's saying. And you have the Two of Pentacles. You have a choice here. I feel like you need to set sail. I feel like you need to kind of be willing to take a risk, and that's how you will move mountains at this time. I feel like taking a risk will kind of put you into alignment as well, because it's not really a risk. Like, it's almost like this reading is saying with this Justice card, it's like the universe, I feel, is reaching out its hand and like saying, here's an opportunity. Whether you take it or not is up to you. And so I would be willing to take these, take any opportunity that comes your way with that justice energy, because I feel you're going to be very successful in some sort of opportunity that you take advantage of here, Leo. Because it's like I said, it's like the universe here with that justice card is saying, okay, you've tried to do something a million times. You've tried to have a relationship, or you've tried to have a business or a solid career. And it's like the universe here, I see, is reaching out its hand saying, here's the thing you've always wanted, but are you going to take the risk? Are you going to take the leap of faith? And it's like once you do that, that's when you come into alignment. So I love that. For you, Leo, I just want to clarify something here. I wanted to clarify this row and just get more details. Nine of Wands, like I was saying, something that you have never given up on, right? Nine of Wands is a card of perseverance. You have the Sun, you showing up in the strongest position possible. And the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is you and your higher self. This is something, whatever it is that you're moving towards here, Leo, is something that you hold very dear to your heart as well. Whatever you're accomplishing, a lot of happiness coming in for you here, Leo, so love it. But Leo, we are going to pull 3 yes or no question cards. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 here, Leo, so 1, 2, and 3. Feel free to pause this video if you need to think of your questions. Again, I'm just a guy on the internet, right? This is, take these questions with a grain of salt. No life or death questions. I feel like I've said, I feel like I shouldn't have to explain myself, but apparently I do. So again, this is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm just a guy who reads pieces of paper with pictures on them, okay? So Leo, question number 1. I would say yes, King of Cups. Definitely could be love coming in for you here with this energy, so I would say yes. For question number 2, you have the Devil. There you go. I was talking about the Devil in your reading, but I would say no. I feel like you need to release yourself. And for question number 3, I would say yes, King of Swords. You already know the answer to question number 3. I feel like you already know, so I'd say yes. Putting this all together, some of you, I feel like you know that you need to release yourself from the Devil energy that I was getting over here with the 2 sevens, and you know that you're like setting sail. It's like you're going towards something where your heart is here. But again, for a lot of you, it's something that is impractical. I think what you're moving towards is something that doesn't make sense now, but it will definitely make sense in the future. So if this is love, you could be getting into something long distance here, and you're saying that doesn't make sense, but in the future it will. Like when you end up married and you end up with this person, if you're kind of like starting a business, it's like maybe you're like starting a business where you're gonna start making, Harry Potter inspired flavored bubblegum, right, or something like that with all the weird flavors. It doesn't make sense now, but in a couple of years or less, it will make sense. So I feel like some of you kind of like need to realize it's a very innovative time for you. And it's like whatever you're creating, it's going to be of quality. And that's all that matters. So I love this reading for you here, Leo. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. I really appreciate the support. But thank you, Leo, and definitely enjoy your week.